Hello lovely students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Ghalib's English School. In today's video, we're going to talk about safety in your vehicle. I'm going to go through the whole chapter from this DVLA official guide. So before I start, I would like you to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon down below for all the updates. So in this chapter, we're going to talk about how to keep your car safe. That's your responsibility as a driver. And how you're going to do that? Let's find out. So guys, here we go. Question number 1 is, when are you not allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? Between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. in built-up areas, at any time in built-up areas between 11:30 and 7 a.m. in built-up areas, or between 11:30 p.m. and 6 a.m. on any road. So the correct option is between 11:30 and 7 a.m. in built-up areas. That's your correct option. What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes, and narrowings? Road humps, you're well aware of that, and chicanes are double bent and they are very sharp, and narrowing. So the question is asking you, what is the purpose of all these things? Are they separate lanes of traffic, to increase traffic speed, to allow pedestrian to cross, or to reduce traffic speed? So these are called traffic calming measures, and they are on the road to reduce traffic speed. Question 3. Why have red route been introduced in major cities? To raise the speed limit, to help the traffic flow, to provide better parking, to allow lorries to load more freely. So red routes being introduced to help the traffic flow. They are like no stopping. So you carry on, keep going. Question 4. How would underinflated tires affect your vehicle? The vehicle stopping distance would increase. The flash red of the vehicle's indicators would increase. The vehicle's gear change mechanism would become stiff, or the vehicle's headlights would aim high. So in this, the correct answer is the vehicle stopping distance would increase. If you have underinflated tires, they're going to increase your stopping distance, which is not good for you. It's a risk. It may cause accident. Question 5. What can cause excessive or uneven tire wear? So if your tires are worn unevenly, so what can cause that? A faulty electrical system, a faulty exhaust system, a faulty gearbox, a faulty braking system. So if you have faulty braking system, then you would see your tires will be worn soon. When should tire pressure be checked? You should check your tire pressure after any lengthy journey, after traveling at high speed, when tires are hot, or when tires are cold. The correct option is when tires are cold. What could cause you to crash if the level is allowed to get too low? Battery water level, radiator coolant level, antifreeze, brake fluid level. So if you have your brake fluid level very low, that will cause you a crash. Question 8. What's most likely to increase fuel consumption? So how your vehicle will use more fuel? Poor steering control, staying in high gears, harsh braking and accelerating round bends. So if you keep braking harshly, if you keep accelerating harshly, that will cause increase in fuel consumption. What's the purpose of catalytic converter? To reduce harmful exhaust gases, to reduce engine wear, to reduce fuel consumption, or to reduce the risk of fire. So the catalytic converter, which is on the exhaust system, it reduces the harmful exhaust gases. That's what is checked in your MOT test. And they keep checking it because it can help the environment if it reduces the harmful exhaust gases. If it doesn't, then your car may fail MOT. What can you achieve if you drive smoothly? Reduction in journey time by 15%, reduction in fuel consumption by about 15%, increase in journey time by about 15%, increase in fuel consumption by about 15%. So if you drive smoothly, you will use less fuel, which is about 15% reduction. Next question is, what makes the vehicle in the picture environmentally friendly? So this vehicle, which has been shown here, why this vehicle is environmentally friendly? It's powered by electricity, it's powered by unleaded fuel, it's powered by gravity, it's powered by diesel. So this vehicle is tram and it is powered by electricity. That is why it's called environmentally friendly, because it has no smoke. It doesn't cause any pollution at all. It's like electric cars. How can you reduce the environmental harm caused by your motor vehicle? So if your vehicle is causing too much environmental harm, it's causing too much pollution, how can you reduce that? Don't service it, only use it for short journey, drive faster than normal, or keep engine revs low. So if you keep the engine revs low and you drive smoothly, then you can control that. How should you dispose of a used vehicle battery? So let's say your battery is no more working and you want to change it, you change the battery. Where are you going to put the old battery? You put in the dustbin, you bury it in your garden, you take it to local authority disposal site, or you leave it on the wasteland. So the best way is you will take it to local authority disposal site and they will recycle that. It's good for environment, it's good for you. Which driving technique can help you save fuel? So in what method you're going to drive which will save you some fuel? Using each gear in turn, missing out some gears, using low gears as often as possible, or accelerating sharply in each gear. So the best way is to save some fuel if you miss out some gears. Question 15. When will your vehicle use more fuel? So when your fuel consumption will be at highest, when its tires are of different makes, when its tires are overinflated, when its tires are underinflated, or when its tires are new. So if your tires are underinflated, then your vehicle will use more fuel. You need to top up your battery with distilled water. What level should you fill it to? Just below the cell plates, just above the cell plates, the top of the battery, halfway up the battery. So the correct option is just above the cell plates. Question 17. When should you check the engine oil level? When the engine is hot, before a long journey, early in the morning, every time you drive the car. So before a long journey, you should check your engine oil level. The fluid level in your battery is low. What fluid should you use to top it up? Engine coolant, battery acid, distilled water, or engine oil? So you should use distilled water to top up your battery. Why is it a good idea to plan your journey to avoid busy time? Your journey time will be longer. It will cause more traffic congestion. You will have an easier journey, or you will have a more stressful journey. So if you avoid busy time, it's common sense that you're not going to have a stressful journey because you are not going on peak time. So you will have an easier journey. You plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? You plan one route. Why should you have an alternative route also? You may find that you have to pay congestion charge. You may get held by a tractor. Your original route may be blocked, or your maps have different scales. So the correct option is your original route may be blocked. Question 21. Before starting a journey, it's wise to plan your route. How can you do that? So how to plan your route? Look at the map, check your vehicle registration document, contact your local garage, look in your vehicle handbook. So the best way is check the map. How will your journey be affected by traveling outside the busy times of the day? Guys, it's the same question. They are using different words and they are trying to twist it, but you need to understand that. So if you choose to travel outside of the busy time, outside of the peak time, how is going to impact your journey? Your journey will take longer. Your journey will be more hazardous. Your journey will have fewer delays, or your journey will use more fuel. So it's not going to use more fuel. It will be like it will have less or fewer delays. You have to arrive on time for an appointment. How should you plan for the journey? Avoid roads with the national speed limit, prevent other drivers from overtaking, allow plenty of time for the trip, or plan the travel at busy time. So the correct answer is allow plenty of time for the trip. Question 24. What can you expect if you drive using rapid acceleration and heavy braking? You use acceleration and then again you use heavy braking. What can this cause? Reduce exhaust emission, increase road safety, reduce pollution, increase fuel consumption. It will cause increased fuel consumption. Question 25. If you are involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? If you have an accident, what can help you to avoid neck injuries? An air-sprung seat, anti-lock brakes, a collapsible steering wheel, a properly adjusted head restraint. Correct option is a properly adjusted head restraint will help you to avoid neck injuries. What's the most important reason for having a properly adjusted head restraint? To help you relax, to help you maintain your driving position, to make you more comfortable, or to help you avoid neck injury. So it will help you to avoid neck injuries. Why is it important to wear suitable shoes when you are driving? To prevent wear on the pedals, to maintain control of the pedals, to enable you to adjust your seat, to enable you to walk for assistance if you break down. So the correct option is to maintain control of the pedals. 28. When may a passenger travel in a car without wearing a seat belt? So when are you exempt? When they are sitting in the rear seat, when they are exempt for medical reason, when they are under 14 years old, when they are under 1.5 meters in height. So the correct option is when they are exempt for medical reason. Question 29. You have to make an unexpected journey. You are carrying a 5-year-old child on the back seat of your car. They are under 1.35 meters tall. How should you seat them if a correct child restraint isn't available? Sharing a belt with an adult, between two other children, behind the passenger seat, or using an adult seat belt. So the correct option is using an adult seat belt. You are carrying an 11-year-old child on the front seat of your car. They are under 1.35 meters tall. What seat belt security must be in place? They must use a suitable child restraint. They must be able to see clearly out of the front window. They must use an adult seat belt. They must be able to fasten their own seat belt. So if you are carrying an 11-year-old child, but you are not going in an emergency, then they should have a suitable child restraint. You're driving a friend's children home from school. You are doing a school run, for example. They are both under 14 years old. Who is responsible for making sure they wear a seat belt or approved child restraint where required? The children, you the driver, your friend, an adult passenger. You the driver. It's your responsibility to make sure that they wear the seat belt. 32. You are carrying two 13-year-old children and their parents in your car. Who is responsible for seeing that the children wear seat belts? The front seat passenger, the children's parent, or you the driver? It's your responsibility because kids are under 14 years old. So it's your responsibility. 33. You want to put a rear-facing baby seat on front passenger seat. What must you do if the passenger seat is protected by frontal airbag? Ask a passenger to hold the baby, put the child in an adult seat belt, deactivate the airbag, or turn the seat to face sideways. So the best practice is if you have a baby seat on the front passenger seat, you have to deactivate the airbag. What should you do if your anti-lock brakes ABS warning light stays on? Let's say you're driving, all in a sudden your anti-lock brakes or ABS light stays on your dash. What should you do? Check the brake fluid level, check the foot brake free play, check that the parking brake is released, Have the brakes checked immediately. So correct option is you have to get your brakes checked ASAP. 35. How should you drive when you are driving along a road that has road humps? So if you can see these road humps in the picture, always keep the maximum legal speed, drive slowly at school times only, maintain a reduced speed throughout, accelerate quickly between the humps. So if you see there are road humps on the roads, you should maintain your speed throughout. 36. You are having difficulty finding a parking space in a busy town. Can you park on the zigzag lines of a zebra crossing? Yes, if you don't block people from crossing. No, not under any circumstances. No, not unless you stay in your car. Yes, in order to drop off a passenger. No, not under any circumstances. That's the correct option. You are leaving your vehicle parked on the road and unattended. When may you leave the engine running? When parked in 20-mile zone. Never if you are away from the vehicle. If you will be parking for less than 5 minutes. If the battery keeps going flat. You should never leave your car started if you are away from it. Question 38. Where would parking your vehicle cause an obstruction? Alongside a parking meter, in front of a property entrance, on your driveway, in a marked parking space. So in front of a property entrance, if you park there, you are causing obstruction to someone. Maybe that person is disabled. You are parked on a road at night. When must you use parking lights? When you are facing oncoming traffic, when you are near a bus stop, when there is a continuous white lines in the middle of the road, when the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. If the speed limit exceeds, it increases, it's more than 30 miles per hour, then you should be using parking lights. Question 40. What part of the car does the law require you to keep in good condition? The door locks, seat belts, gearbox, transmission. So by law, you are required to keep almost everything in good working order, but the best one is seat belt because that's more appropriate for your safety point of view. 41. What can cause excessive or uneven tire wear? Faults in gearbox, faults in exhaust emission, faults in engine, faults in suspension. So if you have faulty suspension, then that will cause excessive or uneven tire wear. What's the legal minimum depth of tread for car tires? 2.5, 4 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 1.6 millimeter. Correct option is 1.6 millimeter. What makes your tires illegal? So how your tires become illegal? If they are bought secondhand, no. If they have any large deep cuts in the sidewall, if they are of different makes, if they have different tread patterns. If your tires have a large deep cut on the sidewall, then they are not safe. That's why they become illegal, because they can burst anytime and can cause you accident. What's legal minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? 2 millimeter, 2.6 millimeter, 1.6 millimeter, or 1 millimeter. Correct option is 1.6 millimeter. 45. What does it mean if your vehicle keeps bouncing after you sharply press down and release on the bodywork over a wheel? So if you press down on the front bonnet and your car keeps bouncing, what's the cause for that? The vehicle is on soft ground, the shock absorbers are worn, the tires are worn, or the tires are underinflated. Correct option is your shock absorbers are worn. What should you do if your vehicle pulls to one side when you use the brakes? You're driving and you use the brakes and your car pulls to one side, either to this side or to that side. Change gear and pump the brake pedal. Use your parking brake at the same time. Increase the pressure in your tires or have the brakes checked as soon as possible. So get your brakes checked ASAP. What should you do when leaving your vehicle parked and unattended? If you leave your car alone, park near a busy junction, park in a housing estate, lock it and remove the key, or leave the left indicator on. So guys, remember, we are talking about safety of your vehicle. How can you keep your car safe? That's your responsibility. So lock it and remove the key. What's the safest thing to do if you have to leave your valuables in your car? So if you have to leave valuable stuff in your car, for example, your laptop, for example, your phone, jewelry, cash money, what's the best practice? Lock them out of sight, park near a bus stop, put them in a carrier bag, and park near a school entrance. So the best way is lock them out of sight where they can't be seen. For example, you can put under the seat, or you can put them in the car boot. 49. What should you remove from your car before leaving it unattended? The car dealer's details, the owner's manual, the service record, or the vehicle registration document. So guys, remember, in Britain, we are not allowed to leave vehicle registration document in the car because your car can catch fire. Somebody can steal your car. So you're going to lose all the evidence. So it's best practice that you leave your car registration documents at home. You shouldn't leave them in your car. Question 50. What should you do when you leave your car unattended for a few minutes? So if you leave your car even for 5 minutes, lock it and remove the key, leave the engine running, switch the engine off but leave the key in, park near a traffic warden. It's your responsibility that you lock the car and remove the key. 51. How can you reduce the chances of your car being broken into when leaving it unattended? So when you leave it unattended, how can you reduce the risk of being broken into? Place any valuables on the floor. You are inviting them. Park near a fire station. No. Take all valuables with you or park near a taxi rank. So the best practice is, and the correct option, that take all valuables with you. Like I said before, if you want to leave the cash or phone, devices like mobiles, you shouldn't leave them in there. What should you do? Take all of them with you. 52. What may help to deter a thief from stealing your car? Always keeping the interior light on, etching the registration number on the windows, always keeping the headlights on, fitting reflective glass windows. So the best practice is etching the registration number on the windows. How can drivers help the environment? By using leaded fuel, by driving faster, by accelerating harshly, or by accelerating gently. So if they accelerate gently, they will reduce the pollution level. And that is how we can help to keep our environment clean. You service your own vehicle. How should you dispose of the old engine oil? So if you service your own car, you got to change your engine oil, and what are you going to do with the old engine oil? Take it to local authority site, pour it down the drain, or tip it into a hole in the ground, or put it in your dustbin. So correct option is take it to local authority site and they can dispose it off. What could you do to reduce the volume of traffic on the roads? Walk or cycle on short journeys, travel by car at first, all times, drive in a bus lane, use a car with a smaller engine. So the correct option is you should walk or cycle on short journeys. That's how you can reduce the amount of traffic on the public roads. How will a roof rack affect your car? The car will accelerate faster, fuel consumption will increase, there will be less wind noise, but the engine will use more oil. Correct option is fuel consumption will increase because you are putting extra weight on your car. So that's why fuel consumption will increase. Question 57. What can you do to reduce environmental damage caused by your vehicle? Use the gears to slow the vehicle. Avoid making a lot of short journeys. Avoid using the cruise control. Use air conditioning whenever you drive. Correct option is avoid making a lot of short journeys. What can people who live or work in towns and cities do to help reduce urban pollution level? So the people who live in towns or urban sides, how can they reduce the pollution level? They should drive more quickly, over rev in low gear, walk a cycle, or drive shorter journeys. So they should walk or cycle. Question 59. On a vehicle, where would you find catalytic converters? So catalytic converters are found on the cooling system, in the fuel tank, in the air filter, or on the exhaust system. So catalytic converter is the box underneath your car which filters the exhaust emissions. So that's why it's on the exhaust system. 60. How can you avoid wasting fuel? By keeping an empty roof rack on your vehicle, by having your vehicle serviced regularly, by revving the engine in lower gears, by driving at higher speed where possible. So you can avoid wasting fuel when you are having your vehicle serviced regularly. How can you reduce the damage your vehicle causes to environment? Brake heavily, use busy routes, use narrow side streets, or anticipate well ahead. Guys, planning is really important. So anticipate well ahead, and that will help the environment also, and you will save some money on fuel. How will you benefit from following the manufacturer's service schedule for your vehicle? So let's say your company has given you a schedule that every 10,000 miles you have to service your vehicle. What's the benefit of that? Your vehicle will remain reliable, your journey time will be reduced, your vehicle tax will be lower, or your vehicle will be cheaper to insure. So the correct option is your vehicle will remain reliable. 63. What will reduce fuel consumption? Late and heavy braking, staying in low gears, driving more slowly, accelerating rapidly. So if you drive gently or slowly, that will reduce the amount of fuel you consume. What's most likely to waste fuel? Reducing your speed, using different brands of fuel, driving on motorways, underinflated tires. So underinflated tires can be the reason to waste your fuel. 65. Why do MOT tests include an exhaust emission test? To discover which fuel supplier is used the most, to make sure diesel and petrol engines emit the same fumes, to discover the cost of expensive garage equipment, to help protect the environment against pollution. So the exhaust emission test is done during MOT test, that is to help protect the environment against pollution. How much more fuel will you use by driving at 70 miles per hour compared with driving at 50 miles per hour? So if you increase the speed from 50 to 70, how much more fuel are you going to use? About 5%, about 75%, about 100%, about 15%. The correct option is about 15%. What will happen if your car's wheels are unbalanced? If your car's wheels are unbalanced, this can cause the steering will pull to one side, the steering will vibrate, the brakes will fail, the tires will deflate. So the correct option is the steering will vibrate. So you need to get it checked. What can be damaged if you turn the steering wheel when the car isn't moving? Your car is parked and you keep playing with your steering. What can this cause? The brakes, the tires, the gearbox, or the engine. So this can cause damage to your tires. 69. What's likely to happen if you put too much oil in your engine? If you put too much oil in your engine, the air intake will become blocked, the timing belt will slip, the oil seals will leak, the clutch pedal will lock. So the correct option is the oil seals will leak. Question 70. What's the main cause of brake fade? Oil on the brakes are out of adjustment, the brakes overheating, or air in the brake fluid. So the correct answer is the brakes overheating. When the brakes get hot, they don't work properly. What does it mean if this light comes on while you are driving? So guys, as you are aware of this sign, this is When your handbrake is on, you can see this on the dash. But as soon as you start driving, it disappears. But all in a sudden, when you are driving and this appears on your dash, what does it mean? A rear light has failed, your seat belt isn't fastened, a fault in the braking system, or the engine oil is low. The correct option is when you are driving and this sign appears or it doesn't go away, it means that you have faulty braking system. Get it checked ASAP. How can you reduce the risk of your vehicle being broken into at night? Don't engage the steering lock. Park in poorly lit area. Leave it in a well-lit area. Park in a quiet side road. So if you leave the car in a well-lit area, there is a chance of safety. Why should you try and park a secure car park? It stops the car being exposed to bad weather. It makes it easy to find your car. It can help deter thieves. It doesn't cost anything to park here. Correct option is it helps deter thieves. So if your car is parked safely in a secure car park in a well-lit area, then thieves don't try to steal it. 74. What will help you to keep your car secure? Registering with Vehicle Watch Scheme, passing an advanced driving test, taking a car maintenance classes, or being a member of a vehicle breakdown organization. So if you register a car with Vehicle Watch Scheme, that will help you to keep your car safe. How can you help to prevent your car radio being stolen? Park near a busy junction, install a security coded radio, park in an unlit area, or leave the radio turned on. So if you install a security coded radio, then it will be safe. Nobody will try to steal it because it requires a code to activate that. 76. What does eco-safe driving achieve? Damage to the environment, increase exhaust emission, increase fuel consumption, or improve road safety. So eco-safe driving brings improved road safety. 77. How can driving in an eco-safe manner help protect the environment? So how can you protect the environment? Through increased fuel bills, by reducing exhaust emission, through the legal enforcement of speed regulations, or by increasing the number of cars on the road. So if you drive in an eco-safe manner, this can help the environment by reducing the exhaust emission. You will produce less pollution. 78. When is fuel consumption at its highest? When you are braking, when you are accelerating, when you are turning sharply, when you are coasting. So when you are accelerating, you use more fuel. You are stopped at the side of the road. What must you do if you will be waiting there for some time? Switch off the radio, use your headlights, switch off the engine, or apply the steering lock. So if you stop somewhere, let's say 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you're waiting for someone to pick them up, best practice is switch off the engine because you are just sitting there doing nothing, you are not driving. So it's better to save the environment and to save the fuel also. What does it mean if electronic stability control ESC indicator lamp lights up while you are driving? When you are driving and suddenly this light comes on your dash, that is electronic stability control. It means that has activated. Electronic stability system is running a routine test. ESC system is switched off, ESC system has activated, or ESC system has a fault. It means electronic stability control system has activated for your safety. How can you plan your route before starting a long journey? Planning is really important. You should consult a travel agent, use a route planner on the internet, check your vehicle handbook, ask your local garage. Best practice is that you should check the route planner on the internet and then you should plan your route. So guys, this was all about safety and your vehicle. If you like this video, please give me thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.